Well, don't sing along. You're delayed
Oh,
by a second.
oh,
um, did you hear it or was it like
oh
real
no, I heard
distant?
it.
Okay.
Did it sound like good or did it sound shitty? Like it would sound
Sounds
in your
good to me.
headphones?
It wasn't playing like it wasn't playing like directly in my headphones. Like it
Not
was
like
more or
our
less
not
like it's
like our
playing in the room with you guys.
not like when we talk.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So live videos here just to make sure we're live and that everybody can hear and or see us
Make
live
sure.
live.
Oh my god. Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on.
Monetization. Yes, please.
Give me some.
And
Oh,
it
nice.
appears we are live now.
My shit off the table. Yeah, I was the one complaining and I left all the shit on the table.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, you didn't want water bottles. I got those out of the way. I mean, that looks like us. Do we hear anything?
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
I should go to the channel and see if it's on.
monetization. Yes, please.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it's working.
It is working.
Okay, so we are live, and I guess we can start the podcast
Okay.
whenever, right? What
So
do you think?
yeah,
Oh, you son of a gun.
Do you have any?
we're gonna.
What did? Well, no, I'm not going to ask him anything because then we're just doing the podcast, right?
Well, no, I thought you were gonna do the jingle. Are we gonna do this new read that I wrote or what?
Oh yeah. Where's that at? I'm gonna
Can I
try.
can I do the new read with the spelling errors?
Yeah, the
I'm
Dre
I'm being a dick.
Asso
I'm sorry.
Asso sponsoring the show AB Cannabis Training. Yeah, I mean you can do that.
And read for.
I was just saying I didn't know what to say for yours, so if you want to make something up,
Oh
you
no,
can.
I'll wing it.
Yeah, I figured.
Wait. So how? What? This is like a multi-pronged thing. I was driving when you sent this to me, so I didn't really read it per se.
Multi-pronged.
Like you're like, okay, you say this, then
Yeah. Okay. So the
then
jingle, then you come in. I say my part. He introduces himself, and then I'll read the body here. He reads AB Cannabis. I'll do the check out our current and uh, past content. Unless you want to do that part, I don't care. And then I figured one of you guys could read the other part since I did wrote myself in for most of the talking. I mean,
I mean,
just
I could
like
do this part. I could do the one that ends in don'teva.com.
right.
Because I
No,
say it with that little extra flair.
that's fine. Okay.
don'teva.com.
Well, see, this is what you're going to get if you're tuning into our live YouTube feed. Is you're going to get
clearly.
you're going to get a little bit of a
little bit of a
pre-show
nonsense.
discussion,
Hey,
some
real
behind the
quick
scenes
though,
stuff.
I gotta send a shout out to Joel's shirt. That fucking shirt is fire.
Right? I mean,
Right.
come on.
Fire.
Hey,
How can I get on
Hey.
camera? There we go.
that was cleverly made by one of our sponsors.
Oh yeah, who
Yeah.
made that?
Right. We'll get to that in a second.
Genevicitis. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell was the transition.
Right.
I know what it was. That was the
I'm
transition.
talking about Jeremy.
Oh,
Jeremy just like, no, we're gonna go back to discussing it.
okay, I gotta stop looking at myself on the
Yeah, can you
screen.
hide that so we're
I'm
not
trying to
looking at
find
each
the
other?
chat. Because if we could view the chat, then we are good.
Okay.
And I guess I could just watch the chat on here. Pop out chat. There we go. That way I can hide this so we don't have to look at ourselves. And boom, we got our chat. So that's all we see is the chat.
And 0
This
out of
is
200 people.
so entertaining for people, right?
Right. Well, hey, listen.
It's a pre-show.
If you're
Get what
tuning
you
in,
get.
it's a pre-show. Thank you. Hey, it would be a lot more entertaining if we had people in the chat to interact with during this.
My bad.
No,
I'll
it's
go to the
fine.
chat too. I'm gonna talk to myself.
Oh, it's
You're gonna
definitely your fault, Dre. That's who I was
You're gonna
blaming.
you're
Hey,
gonna
look, I'm
respond in
gonna
the
ask myself
chat.
questions and then respond sarcastically.
I don't know if you have to eat it so much, Jeremy.
Am I too close?
I was talking. I was trying to talk loud, and you were still just like regular talk, and it was going way above. Say something.
What about now?
That's perfect.
Is that a little bit
Honestly,
better?
that's.
Okay,
I
so
think
just
that's
stay-
the
so
range
keep
to
that
be
up.
in.
All right.
Coming to you from singular, huh? I was contemplating that.
Studio or studios, I don't care. Either one. 9 Mile Studios sounds better. And I just use them with me as always because that's what you used to say.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, shit. Let's try this.
This is how to watch TV.
Coming to you live from 9 Mile Studio. I am Joel Henderson, and with me, as always,
I am Jeremy Basitis.
And I'm Andre Brown.
All right, we are brought to you today by our producer, Comeuppance Network. Check them out for any kind of video production and drone footage, anything cool, stuff like that. I didn't read down for you, but
also sponsored by 9 Mile Branding.
we are also sponsored in part by 9 Mile Branding with signs, banners, decals, and professional graphic design. Check out our website at 9milebranding.com.
We might as well throw one more sponsor in there. We're sponsored by AB Cannabis Training out of Illinois. We train everybody in the cannabis industry so that they can get their certifications and stay employed and stay legal.
Very good. All right, you can check out all of our current and past content and watch a live recording of this very podcast on
Don'teva.com.
And obviously, if you enjoy this discussion, like, share, and subscribe. Anyway, so welcome to How to Watch TV. So there's not a lot of huge, eventful television shows going on right now. So we're just trying to kind of discuss what we are watching currently.
TV's happening every week, whether,
Sure, yeah. I watched plenty of stuff this week.
What did you watch?
I took Dre up on his suggestion from last week, and I checked out The Harder They Fall, which was a Western on Netflix. It's a Netflix original movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cuffy.
Cuffy, yeah, is one of the characters in the movie. It was starring Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Regina King. I mean, it had a pretty. I'm not sure of everybody's name, but those are like three of the big ones. Pretty much all black cast. They were. It was great. They were based on the story. It says at the beginning, this story is fictional, but these people existed.
Yes, sir.
So they were all based on people who actually existed. The story in and of itself was
wove together.
They just kind of made up their own kind of tale, but it was really cool. It was way more like the cinematography, not so heavy with like the spinning camera stuff, but it kind of reminded me a little Guy Ritchie-ish. Like Sherlock Holmes, Guy Ritchie, the guy who directed Snatch and Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
I don't think
Did he
real
do
crazy,
Lock, Stock, and
like
Two Smoking Barrels too?
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is also Guy Ritchie. Just a real like stylized, super sharp camera angles, spinning upside down.
What was that
weird
movie with Jason Statham where he had to keep running or whatever? Like
Charge, Bolt, or something.
it started with a C.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I cannot think of the name of it.
'Cause,
I
like,
loved
that's
the first
what I
one.
picture when you
Crank,
say Guy Ritchie.
Crank.
Crank. There.
Cranked. Yeah.
Cranked, or was it Crank or Cranked? I think it was just Crank. Anyway, but that's just the cinematography kind of reminded me of that. It wasn't super heavy with that kind of stuff, but it was not like a traditional style Western like I was imagining when he was describing it last week. Not that he was describing it in that manner. That's kind of what I just thought of. But no, way more cool. The characters were a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like good guy, bad guy, old school.
Yeah.
Revenge type Western. Great twist at the end.
You connected with the character when you texted me that you called one of the characters, we won't say who, but you called him a punk ass. And you was happy that he died.
Yeah, man, no, because I wanted to see how that. Okay, so I guess stop here since we haven't really given any spoilers. If you're listening to this and you want to go watch that movie and don't want to be spoiled on it, we're discussing it in full, so we're going to spoil the movie. So,
So you want to skip ahead to
For the
end?
record, I'm also
it-
will be spoiled by this but I don't care. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you're on the show now, and like this
Go
is what
for
we've
it.
watched
I
this
don't
week,
care.
so you didn't get a chance to watch it, so you just enjoy, ask questions if needed.
I will.
But yeah, go ahead. So from this point on, spoilers. So yeah, I'll skip ahead to the end. I don't really care. Am I too close? Skip ahead to the end. Yeah, we can talk any point in the movie you want. Like I'm cool with that. I did like there was the two on the opposite gangs. There was each one of them had a quick draw, which is the fast dude who like nobody can beat him in the fucking You know,
Oh,
like
in the duel.
in the duel.
Right.
So they built up this whole uh, duel between these two dudes. You know, like one was Cherokee Bill, and what was the other dude's name? Dre.
That was Jimmy Beckford.
Jimmy Bankford. Okay, so and Jimmy was like
Beckford.
real fucking fast talking. What did he call us? He said, "I'm lightning here with these blam
Lightning with the
blams."
blam blams.
Right. He was a real fast talking shit, but he was real quick with the gun. Like, you know. So then by the end, they finally fucking face off to each other, and Cherokee Bill was like, you know, count down from 5, and he started counting down to 5, and then Jimmy was like looking at him all smiling. He fucking loaded up a bullet with Cherokee Bill written on it, like carved into his gun. And he was counting down like 3, got to 3, boom, shot him in the face. Fucking cheated the count. You know, he fucking bitch moved.
Well,
for
he was
me.
counting slow as shit.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you still gotta wait till it's done. Like he didn't even have his gun holstered. He was loading that shit up. It was a bitch move, man. I didn't like that shit. And then he shot.
You
And then
really
later on
hated
down,
his
and then
character.
later on in that battle, he shot the other dude in the back. So they made it a point to show that he was the type that would do that type of shit. But I mean, hey, man, sometimes you're in that type of situations. You got to do whatever it is you got to do to survive.
Hey, listen.
So we never got to learn who
his
was
mentality.
faster between those two characters, which was
I liked
kind
his
of
mentality
disappointing.
because he told him in the beginning, he said, "What do you think this is? Some type of fastest gun in the West type shit?" He was like, "No, this is about who's alive and who's dead.
Yeah,
Give
I
a
mean, he
fuck,
said it.
give a fuck
To be
about who's
fair,
fastest."
I like in my text I did to you. I did say I saw it coming, but Cherokee Bill's a bitch. Right. So yeah, maybe like he shot the other character, who I like the sharpshooter guy. He shot him in the back, which was kind of a bitch move. But then Cuffy ended up getting him, which she was if I'm understanding correctly, she was a female
Yeah,
pretending to
Cuffy's a
be a
girl.
dude, right?
Yeah,
In the
she
story.
cast the other guy. She was that was their subtle way of saying she was like butch lesbian, but they wouldn't say that. They
Right.
kind of just left it to your discretion to
Well, and then
assume.
she gave her the big kiss at the end, so I kind of got that
Well,
from
yeah,
that.
I figured that would be the thing, but when I looked at it, she wasn't like kissing on the mouth or nothing. She was like kissing on the cheek.
Yeah, kind of. But it was
And so I
still
was
like
just like, they
she was
kind
still
of
in love with her.
left
You
up
could
in the
tell.
air. They didn't want to make a big deal out of it, I guess.
She was in love with her. You could tell that was
Oh
the
yeah, she
case. Yeah.
definitely was.
But Idris Elba was the big bad per se. He was Rufus Buck, and Jonathan Majors
What a
played
name! What a great name!
Jonathan. And these are all real names, right?
Yeah, you
Like
got to look these people up,
right.
bro. It's
And there was
hilarious.
another dude named Nat Love. So the movie started out with a priest, his wife, and his 8, 9, 10-year-old son about to sit down for dinner.
Yeah, about 10.
And then a faceless man comes in real dramatically, shoots and kills the wife, shoots and kills the dad, and carves a cross into the kid's head. Well, cut to some time later, like the movie said, and it's Jonathan Majors is the kid, and he's hunting down Rufus Buck is the man who killed his family, so he's hunting him down, and it's a revenge story.
Crosshead hunts down the killers of his
It's a revenge
family.
story, yeah.
You know
It's
what's dope
I mean,
about
like
it?
there wasn't anything like super new or inventive. It did have a nice little twist at the end that I liked that I didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
the twist went over a couple heads. Like that's why they had to spell it out a little bit. But I was watching it with somebody and she was like, "Oh, is that his dad? Is that his real dad?" And I'm just like, just wait, they'll spell it out. Trust me.
Right.
But no, the thing that I found dope about the movie was that it paid homage or whatever how you want to pronounce it. If you're a dick, I don't know, but they they
If
show
you're a
love
dick.
to no, but peep game though they show love to a lot of other movies in this movie,
I
and
was
I
curious to
love
hear this. He
when
texted me.
films
He
do
texted me
that.
this earlier. Now
Yeah, I
I'm
love
curious to
when I
hear.
see people do that on film. One of my favorite little callbacks in that movie that I didn't even discuss with you was Jimmy Beckford. Quick
Okay.
note on Jimmy Beckford. Jimmy Beckford didn't die as a teenager like he did in the movie. He actually died in his 60s. But Jimmy
This
Beckford,
again, the story was fictional. The
right, they
people were real.
fictionalized
Yeah.
the story. But I was just saying that to make the point that you should probably check these people's lives out. So a lot of them have really dope stories. But Jimmy Beckford, when he made that point, when he said, every time I say something about my speed, somebody want to pull Cherokee Bill out their ass. That was a callback to Eddie Murphy and Coming to America, when he was like, every time you say something about boxing, somebody want to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. I just like, it's those little scenes like
The
a lot of
barbershop. You're
people
talking
wouldn't.
about barbershop, the
In
barbershop
the
guys?
barbershop
Okay.
scene in Coming to
I
America.
got you.
Right. So it's like those little things, like a lot of people, if you're not really paying attention, they just like happen and they go over your head and keep moving.
I didn't catch that one.
But I
You pointed
love
another
watching it.
really cool one out to me. I'll let you go ahead and say the one that you pointed
Which
out to
one
me that
was
was
it? The
really.
Regina King one?
No, the one. Well, that one was cool, but the one with the when Rufus
Oh
comes out of the
yeah.
cell, like that was a
Okay.
good one.
So you know how you know the phrase, take all the air out of the room,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So
Have you seen the Matrix
they
movies?
they they
At
visualize that
least, if yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
in the first Matrix movie, when Neo died in the hallway and then he got up, beat the shit out of Smith, dived into his chest cavity or whatever, and destroyed him.
And then he
And
did
then
that
when he
like
took that breath,
flex,
the whole
and like the
hall like
hallway like rippled.
flexed with him. And they kind of imitated that scene,
Yeah.
but they put it in a way where you saw Rufus Buck coming out of this fucking box. And when he took that first breath, it kind of took the air out of, like, everybody in there knew they was gonna die at that
They like
point.
moved the camera in closer as
Right.
he breathed and like came out. It was a cool little shot. It was very that I didn't notice it when I was watching, but after he pointed it out, the similarities between that and that Matrix scene, I was
Yeah.
like, that's pretty fucking cool, that thing.
Yeah.
And I
And
saw
then the
one of the
train that
executive
they was
producers
on
is
was
Sean
the
Carter.
C.A.
So
Bozeman.
oh, and the chain was
The,
C.A. Bozeman,
yeah, they
Chadwick.
was on the Chadwick Bozeman Express, which I thought was a dope little
That
shout
was
out
it.
to him.
Okay.
He even said that mm, we could easily have both seen him as part of this cast
Oh yeah, he
to
would have
make
been
this
dope in that
movie.
movie.
He would have been whatever character he played. He would have been good in this movie. He would have fit
I
right
think he would
in
have been Cherokee.
with all of the.
You
To
would have
see him
hated
be
him
a
then.
bad guy would have been neat. To see him
Hell
play
yeah.
that kind of villainous character, Cherokee Bill, I liked him at first because when they first did the train scene, when the big mean dude stands up and he's like kind of challenged to Cherokee Bill steps up to challenge him. He like reaches behind him. Regina King hands him a knife. He like drops down and like cuts the dude 3, 4 like in between his legs. 1, 2, 3, 4 like on the insides of his legs. It just fucking drops him. I
Fucked
was
Yeah.
like,
all this
ah,
shit
that
up.
was pretty dope.
Hey, quick question though.
Yeah.
If you like, I don't know how many times you plan on, like, if you plan on watching it with somebody else in the future. If Joel, if you plan on watching it or whatever, if you get a chance. But just based on like the actions and the things that were done in the movie, wouldn't Regina King be the big bad of this film?
Fair enough. I'll give
I
you
feel
that.
like,
I can
because
give you
like
that.
even with the two fights, like the two actual physical confrontations, where the two, like the one you just mentioned, Lakeith Stanfield reaches back, she hands him a knife, he wins the little fist fight. When
Yeah, that was it. There wasn't even a
Dion
fight.
Cole was fighting Idris Elba, he reached back and she handed him a pistol and he pistol whipped him with his teeth out of his fucking head.
Yeah.
Like, they knew she was always right there to like help.
Yeah, you know what? Now the more you look at you with the deep analysis, she was more of the driving force
Yeah,
kind of behind that whole thing. He ended up
yeah. Even
Rufus Buck, and by the end of it, like by that last speech, you were kind of like, "Damn, man!"
he
Like
didn't want to fight.
you
That was
kind
the
of like
whole purpose.
you feel sorry for him. So
Yeah,
do all right. So I guess the ending, the reveal at the end is that Rufus Buck tells this whole story about how his dad treated him and his mother and how awful he was, and he killed his mom and like
Hmm.
like just left and abandoned him, basically left him to raise himself. And he raised himself, and he said, I went through him and I searched for him for many years, and I finally found him, you know. And he was living under a different name. He was living as a man of God with a wife and a son. So they ended up being brothers. Like the guy he killed in the very beginning of the movie was his father. Both so end up being both their dads. Like it was like, oh shit! Like that was the twist at the end of the movie, is that they were brothers, and he was just like, go ahead and take your revenge. Like kill him. He didn't even fight him. Like he just let Jonathan Majors kill him. So
Yeah,
it was
it
like
was that.
it
That
was
was
like
a
pretty good. I
deeper.
was like, I didn't see it coming until he was giving the speech at the end, and I was like, oh, okay,
That was
I
a
like
deeper.
it.
That's what my sister. She looked at it with me, and she was like, "Oh well, why didn't why didn't he fight at the end and all this?" And I'm like, dude, his name was Rufus Buck. I don't really want to go into the undercurrent of what that conversation was about at the end, but that kind of was the point of the whole thing. It wasn't about him trying to fight his brother. It wasn't him, you know what I'm saying, good versus evil. It was kind of a clash in ideology, so to speak. And I like those movies that, or TV shows for that matter, that kind of have a theme that's playing out on top of what you're watching, but then underneath there's a undercurrent that's kind of speaking to people on a deeper level. I thought it was pretty dope. I love it. It's
It
one of my
was definitely a
favorites.
really good movie, and it was way more. It was very entertaining, and now even just speaking it out loud and having this conversation it was a lot more. Now speaking it out loud and having this conversation with you, it feels a lot more layered than even on the first
Yeah,
watch
they
through.
was they was doing it was like I said. I don't want to like be like super fanning over this fucking movie because I thought it was dope and it's still not my favorite western of all time. I love westerns, so I mean like 310 to Yuma, Tombstone, Appaloosa is actually one of my favorites, which a lot of people didn't like that much, but still, I don't think it's one of my favorite westerns of all time, but it's already like for what it is, for what it meant to me, it's like right up there on the list. It's a dope ass film, and when I look at the undercurrent, because
And
that
even
was kind
all
of the
the homages, like the
yeah
shout
yeah
outs to the different things was
they
Well,
really
they
cool.
they shouted out
I
so
got a
many
question about
films.
those things. So, at what point do you feel like it's just them retreading something that's already been done versus it being an homage? Because, like, I feel like with comedies, that's kind of standard fare. You know, like Community would do that all the time. It would just have, like, they do episodes that were based around movies or
Right.
the styles. But drama stuff, it almost feels like, well, but that's already been done in a drama movie. Like, isn't it
The,
just them not coming up with their
so
own
if you
shot? I'm just curious if you have a balance there where it's like, you know
I mean,
what, do
the
your
whole
own
movie
shit
wasn't that.
versus.
There was a few in
no,
there, but I don't think
the
like
thing
there
about
wasn't.
it is the thing about it is I get exactly what Joel is saying because I hate that myself. I
Where it's
don't
like
I
a
don't
judge
like when
just
people
doing it.
tell somebody else's story again.
Right.
But the difference here was you had a story and then the homages had nothing to do with the actual story. They would just be like quick one-offs, just to
I
say,
see.
hey, look, remember this thing. So one of the ones I forgot to mention earlier would be a perfect example. Uh, Denzel Washington, he did Spike Lee's Malcolm X film. And in Spike Lee's Malcolm X film, one of the most famous scenes, they actually used it on a commercial or the trailer for the film, was Denzel Washington standing out in front of the hospital or the police station or whatever, and they was whatever the fuck the situation. The point is, he made this hand gesture where he put his hand up, all five fingers, and then he made a, gun symbol with his index finger, and then twisted at his wrist to the right, and then everybody turned and started marching. Regina King does this exact same uh, gesture in the exact same way with with almost the exact same leather gloves on to kind of imitate what Denzel did in the Malcolm X movie. Real quick, 2 second shot, but it was kind of like okay, invoking that image in your head. There you go, Joe. You got it. I'm just now seeing it because I'm on a delay. It's doing the hand gesture thing.
No, you were.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just, I didn't realize you were watching.
But all in
Oh
all,
yeah,
man, I would definitely suggest if you're any kind of fan of a western, check it out. It was really really cool.
hell yeah.
Like a
And
lot of
if you
fun.
black, you gotta watch it. And if you black and you watching this podcast, sweet.
Right.
No, fuck you.
You guys
That's
right.
funny.
Right. Because
You gotta laugh at that, or else I look like a dick.
That was the point. Yeah, I was just gonna let you.
We were trying to we were trying to diversify when we were trying to start this back up. So
No, whoa! I am not going on record as saying that at all.
Yeah, Joel, I feel kind of
First of
bad
all,
now. I feel
that
like the
doesn't
token.
sound like somehow that sounds like a negative thing.
I was just kidding.
No, I know, but I'm saying for some reason when you say we're trying to diversify, that sounds like you're being condescending.
It sounds like all those racist ass people who
Yeah.
say that type of shit.
Yeah, so-
exactly.
Now
That
we
was
gotta start.
what
now
I
we
was trying to
definitely gotta start
imitate.
talking
That
about
was
the wire.
that was the you got the joke I was trying to
Yes,
get across.
yes,
obviously.
exactly. Oof. Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
Bringing us back on track.
I mean, what did you watch?
Whatever
You
black
watched
listeners
that.
we
What about
had,
you,
they're
Dre? Did you
gone
watch
by now.
anything besides this movie?
I
I actually did.
Oh, go on.
I watched the first season of The Witcher again because I'm a fucking weirdo and an addict.
I've not seen that. I'm not familiar with The Witcher.
Oh, bro, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch
Do
it,
I?
Joel.
Is it a game movie?
No, serious. This is a must watch. I don't say
It's
that
really
about a
good.
lot. This is a
It's-
must watch.
it's high
Is it
fantasy.
Hack'em slash 'em?
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, kind of.
It can't. Well, I mean,
It's
not
enough
in every
comedy in
episode.
there. It's
not
enough
like that in
comedy in
every
there.
episode.
It's enough drama in there, and it's enough mysticism. It's like a little bit of everything.
It's one of those
But
things
all
that's
done
telling a
very
story
well.
from several different times and tying it all together. It's
Okay.
good.
What was that called again?
The Witcher.
The Witcher,
Okay.
Netflix. Am I talking too loud, guys?
Why? Does it sound
I
like
don't
you
think
are?
so.
Yeah, I'm used to having a fan on in here, and I don't have it on, so now I just feel like I'm being extremely loud.
I mean, you're not blowing out my earphones. I
Are
feel
you
like I'm
listening
blowing
to it on the
a little
on
bit.
YouTube
No,
and it
I got
sounds
the
loud?
TV off.
No.
I mean, I
I
feel
mean, I
like
got
you're
the
about the
audio
same.
on the TV off.
You should be about the same as us.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We cool then. I'm just making sure.
A little bit of admin there,
Oh
gentlemen.
yeah, that we watched. Where were we at? You were talking about what you watched this week, or
No, he was. He
He
said
was
The
going
Witcher.
I was just telling Joel he need to watch The Witcher, but Joel gotta make up his mind. He gotta either watch The Witcher or Harder They Fall.
Wait, what was Harder They Fall?
that was the
Jesus
Western we were
Christ.
talking about.
Oh yeah. I would definitely be
Wow.
more inclined.
He
to
was
the second
totally
one.
paying a lot of attention during that whole segment.
I didn't remember the name of it. I haven't seen it. It wasn't on any list of mine. I won't put it on the 300 list. I'll check it out.
No, definitely
Please
don't
don't.
do that. It was good enough to watch it.
Okay. I mean, I
Hey.
watched Chernobyl this week.
It's something
I'm
that if
assuming
you
you
were
guys have seen it.
okay,
Is that the
I
series
have
or
not
the
seen
show?
the series.
The series. It's only 5 episodes or so.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
It comes highly recommended. I just have I think it's one of those things where not out of
You're not in the mood to watch it, really.
not out of objection
Yeah.
to watching it. I
So,
just have
so
it.
is it like
clicked
a
on it, yeah.
reality thing, or is it?
Yeah, it's
a
based about
dramatization.
It's a dramatization. I mean, they didn't like find footage or I mean, they did at the very end they show actual footage. You know, like from the cleanup efforts and all that stuff. But like
But from what I understand, it's
there's
a
a
very
lot more to
difficult,
it than I knew.
Like a difficult watch.
It is
Like,
a
it's
very difficult watch.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even get to tell you the thing
Difficult
the
in
other
what
day I was
way?
trying
Like,
to warn you
it's
about.
like
but
what would you call it difficult to watch? When I'm saying that, I mean like emotionally, like you're sitting there watching, you're like this is some heavy shit.
I was like clenching my whole body as I was like watching scenes where they're talking to people with radiation.
See, the thing is though, man, is if you can invoke that kind of
It's
physical emotional response,
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
something.
it's entertaining. It's
Yeah.
to me like I appreciate that kind of entertainment, whether it be you're scaring me, whether it be you're making me laugh, whether it be
Well,
you're
shit,
making me
I'm gonna
fucking
watch it
tense
then.
up like that. I've heard Chernobyl's very good. I think the director of Chernobyl even got like he won some awards, and you'd
Is this
have to
a
look it
Netflix
up, but he
thing?
directed some other shit
HBO
recently
Max.
too. That was really highly regarded.
You scroll over and go to HBO Max and set
So
that
I'm
up
gonna
right now.
All right,
it's
I'll have
for
to check
sure.
that out.
That one is definitely worth watching.
Okay, so then we won't discuss a whole lot of spoilers then.
No,
for that one,
just kind of general stuff. I mean,
even though we just spoiled the shit out of that movie.
Yeah,
for
I
you,
mean,
but,
to be
I don't
fair
care.
though,
I'll
we know
probably
what happened with
never
Chernobyl.
Yeah, you guys know what
Well,
happened.
yeah, it's
I
not
won't
It's
ruin
that
the
happened in real life.
dramatization of it, the way they play it
Right.
out, but like they
It's
do a
like watching
really good
Titanic.
job.
You know what happens at the end of Titanic,
Right.
right?
But they
They
do a
made
really
it
good
all home
job
safe. What?
of playing it out one like at some points a second at a time. You
Okay.
know, of how the whole thing is going down and
That's
like
terrifying.
when they eventually explain how things went wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's fascinating. Like
Well, it
holy
sounds-
shit, all that stuff had to go wrong for this to I don't know. It's and
And
then
it still to this day is uninhabitable, correct?
correct. I got invited to go
That's
on a
insane.
trip there. It just didn't work out.
Don't
But
do it, Joel.
what's that?
Don't do it.
Don't do
Please don't
what?
go.
Why?
Don't go to Chernobyl.
Why?
I saw a fucking scary movie based on that shit.
Yeah, but that's nonsense.
Okay.
It's-
Mutant zombie dog comes
Yeah.
out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That shit always crazy until it happened in real life.
but
Okay, so maybe then
but
we'll
once
have
you watch
maybe,
Chernobyl, you'll know that that's not
maybe-
an option because they
Well, then maybe-
don't allow that to be an option.
well
No,
maybe
I'm
then,
going. I'm definitely going. Yeah, I can't.
if we
wait
both
to
watch
check
it
that
this upcoming week, by the next episode, maybe we'll have a more in-depth discussion.
Yeah, he said it's only like
about
5
that.
episodes.
If it's 5
right?
episodes, we should probably
Yeah,
both
we
be
can
able to knock
shit
that
out
out.
this weekend.
All right. Anything else as far as like what you've been
I've
watching?
been watching
since the last
Brooklyn
time?
Nine-Nine on like season 5 or 6.
That's my
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's great. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but I mean, to talk about a comedy show like that, other than just rehashing the jokes, is
Right.
is kind of, I don't know.
I think I
I
finally
guess we'd have
got
to. It's something you would have to look into and find out if there is a different way to break it down or discuss it or talk about it. I
mean,
don't really know, but the
I've-
show's very funny.
yeah.
My favorite character is probably Captain Holt. Just
Holt
because
is
of his
hilarious.
sick fucking burns on
Yeah, what's her name?
Madeline. God, what is her name? The lady that he just hates.
Yeah,
He hates her guts.
He hates her. He wanna. But his
He called her
the
a
funniest shit
Korean
with
toilet
Holt-
ghost.
The funniest scenes are his flashbacks to his younger days, and it's just like Andre Brower with a fucking big ass fake mustache.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that fucking
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shit had me dying.
I finally
Every
got
time.
to in the actual series, the one where they did the I Want It That Way with all the suspects.
Oh,
I had seen that clip a bunch
the
of
bit.
times, and then I finally got around to that part. I still watching Curb. I started at Seinfeld.
second episode of Curb. I haven't watched that.
I haven't
yet.
watched it either.
It's gotta be out there.
I started Seinfeld on Netflix, and like the first couple episodes are better than I remember them being.
The first season's only like 5 episodes,
Yeah.
and then it goes right into the second season.
Of like 12 or 13,
it is.
something like that.
I'm almost through it. I've burned through it. I'll probably start it over again. And I'm not sitting and attentively watching
Right.
every single episode, every single minute. It's like one of those things that
Background
plays in the
show.
background shows. And, I'll play it again because there is some shit that I was actually watching with Jenna from like where she was at. And she was, I hadn't even seen the episode. She was in like season 5. And I guess I must have just like slept through that one or not seen that one. But yeah, very funny. Probably one of the best sitcoms of all time.
Which one?
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've gone down in history as one of the best sitcoms of all time.
I mean,
If
I
not
think there's
the
something
best.
there's something to be said for comfort shows, and like stuff like that. That's why I'll throw The Office on at any point, and I
The
feel
Office is exactly. I was just about to say The Office.
Parks
is
and Rec is
show
that for me.
Whenever I can't think of anything to watch and I just want something to just throw on to have something on, I always go to The Office first.
yeah, it's comfort food. It's like I don't know. I feel safe there. You know what's going to happen. Like there's actual studies been done on this that's why people rewatch stuff like that. It makes you feel safe. There's no anxiety about what's going to happen to characters. You know
It's
what I mean?
easy. Like you're not getting that. It's like almost the opposite of what we were just talking about your whole body being tense and invoking that emotional response with something that's like high drama or like high intensity, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, your palms are sweating and shit. When you just put on the comfort food,
Knees
it's
weak,
better to
arms
just
is
like
heavy.
sit and just watch it and enjoy it. Like Parks and Rec, to me, and I know you guys were making fun of me for it last week, but Big Bang Theory is I can throw that on and laugh at it, and that's comfort food for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy the characters. Again, no, content wise, is it the best, most well crafted? No, it's not. It's not anywhere near as well crafted as
It doesn't
Parks
have
and
to
Rec.
be compared to
But
anything. It's on its own.
it's
fine.
funny.
Hey,
It's
look, man.
it's funny on its own.
Listen, you can enjoy a $70 steak at Michael Jordan's restaurant as much as you can enjoy a $5 chicken sandwich at Popeyes.
Good
Whatever
analogy.
you enjoy it for the reasons you enjoy it.
Right. So
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right. So that
Don't be
again,
ashamed of it.
I
Own
do,
it.
no, I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
ashamed of
own
it.
that
But
shit,
like,
man.
but
Because
you know,
we
but
all
no,
got
but
weird
you do
shit that
kind
we
of get
watch.
that. You've been turning your nose up at Big Bang Theories for a long time, and you were the
Yeah,
one
but
who.
that's
But
me.
you
That's
made
not you.
I know, but you made me look at it a little differently, and you showed me one little
Yeah.
YouTube clip a long time ago where he was like, "All right, here's Community.
Like, here's a minute of
Here's a
Community.
minute of Community." With they don't have there is no live studio audience per se. There's no sitcom. There's nobody laughing at the jokes there. The
Right.
dialogue just has to keep going. There's no pauses in the dialogue. And here's a minute of Big Bang Theory minus the laugh tracks.
Like, somebody
And
muted it out, dude.
how
It's
much less
brutal.
dialogue they have to write. And it just made me respect shows like Community, Parks and Rec, and the shows that don't have that laugh track way more than a sitcom style show that does. Even though they can be funny, the
Like
jokes can
Seinfeld.
land. Seinfeld is like the right is very funny in that way, right? I
Right.
didn't even really think about it or look at it like that because of the content being so good, and it's
Right.
right. And a lot of that stuff you're seeing on Seinfeld, you're like, oh, I saw that on this show, where this show just re-fucking hashed it. Like,
Yeah.
they took the same bit and just kind of retooled it a little bit and threw it in there. I can't think of any specific examples right now as I'm sitting here talking, but you're like, oh, all right, yeah, that's where they got that from.
But yeah, man, like the pauses were brutal. The jokes were not funny without the laughter. Like, it was
Right. So
like,
it was just a different way of looking at
Yeah.
those two different types of shows who are competing for the same audience.
right. And
Essentially.
to be clear, Big Bang Theory was destroying Community.
Oh yeah.
But in my estimation, Community is the superior show. Just my personal preference of show style. Like, I think
I agree with you.
overall it's a better show, but
it is.
but I can see I enjoyed Big Bang Theory for a few years. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I never liked the show.
Right.
But
you know, you're not like
I like the
hanging on the
complex
edge of your
stuff.
seat waiting to see what happens to those characters.
'Cause they're
per
going
se,
to
'cause
reset every
they're going
week,
to reset the
essentially.
next
Yeah.
week, and it's going to be a new problem or
But
story.
that's
whatever,
comfort
yeah.
food in and of itself.
Right.
Like, Cheers, you know what I mean? Every
Sure.
week, Sam's gonna be there, Norm's gonna be there, Cliff will be there. You know what I mean? Like,
And I mean,
it's
like,
comfort food.
if any of the shows are that you want to go where somebody knows your name.
Hey man,
Yeah.
shout out to
seriously.
1980s Kirstie Alley. God damn.
Was she there in the 80s? I thought she came. Oh yeah, that's right. Cheers ended in the early 90s, didn't it?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know that
Yeah.
my parents used to watch it
I watched
pretty much
Cheers
religiously.
all the
I
time,
would sit
yeah.
and watch it with them. I did appreciate it.
I remember
learned to
watching
love
the
those
finale.
I
Hey,
think
man,
I
I
remember
got an
that as well. I
idea.
remember watching the finale of Seinfeld live on TV.
I
You
got
know,
an
when it
idea real quick. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Uh,
Breaking
Since
news
we
in the
are how to
podcast
watch-
format. Dre has a question. Go on.
oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna make this thing live. Listen, I since we are how to watch TV,
Okay.
I just think we should get a little bit of a suggestion for a classic TV show for somebody to go back and watch.
How
I know
by
it's-
classic? What
it's
do you
a
mean?
wi-
Like what? Like are you
I mean,
limiting it to
anything-
certain time periods, or can we?
no, not so much limited to certain time periods, but just a classic show that might have been underappreciated. And you think people of today, audiences of today, anybody, they might appreciate going back and taking a look
how,
at it.
how long ago are we talking? Is it? Can it just
However
be
long back you
anything?
want to go.
Because
How
like
far back you want to go.
I have a show that like every time especially when it first came out and then was canceled, it really fucked me up because like I
Far
really
away.
I think I
liked
know
the
which one you're
show.
going to talk about.
It was
Far away. I want to hear it.
God damn it! I forgot the name of it. Now I had it, and then you said that it's gone.
Damn it.
Was that one Reunion?
Oh,
I think it might have been Reunion
Oh.
on. I can't remember if it was Fox or NBC or something like that. Each episode. So the idea was that it's their 20-year high school reunion,
Okay.
and these group of 6 friends, one of them was just murdered at or before the high school reunion, and then
Okay.
each episode tells you a year, like their first year of or their graduating year of high school, and then every year after that, leading up to the high
Okay.
school reunion. Each episode was 1 year in that time frame. They ended up canceling it after 9 episodes and told the creators, just wrap it up in the next episode. They're like, the killer hasn't been like introduced yet. We can't wrap, so they just didn't end it. They just did the next 3 episodes that they already had planned. It was supposed to be like 19 episodes, and they got to do 13. And so it
Okay.
just ends waiting for the next thing, and you never get to find out what happened. A similar show to that is Traveler. That show was amazing.
That's the one. I think that's the one I was thinking of that you were gonna say.
Not Travelers.
No, not with
Crap Netflix
Dharma
show
and
that I
Greg.
did not like. But
It was okay.
I'm talking Traveler. There was this guy named Will, and he like came to he was at the college, and the 2 other main characters, one of them was trying to be a cop or something, and the other one's dad was in the government, something like that. So they're like high up, up and comers, so to speak. And this guy kind of infiltrates them, and then does like this heist at a museum and steals
Okay.
this painting and frames them. And they're like, it was Will. And then everybody's like, who's Will? And then they cannot find a single picture with him in it from the last year.
Hmm.
And then it starts telling the story of what that dude was doing and why he was there. And when that season ended, it was only like 8 episodes. I was stoked as hell for season 2, and I'm pretty sure they canceled it before season 2.
What are we talking about?
Traveler.
Okay.
But the creator went on IMDb, and the message board on there. We can hear all of your
Oh, I'm sorry.
things coming. Do you just mute it on the
Just gonna
side?
just mute it. Yeah.
He went on the message board and laid out the 5-season arc that they had for the
Okay.
story, and it was like, man, that would have been cool to see play out.
Joel, you might be a goddamn. Are you some kind of like telepath or what do you call it? Telekinetic?
Why?
Because you just told Jeremy something about like you can hear his stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, so I just muted. He was like, just muted or something. And as soon as you said it, like the fan on my laptop got quiet. It was weird as shit. I kind of freaked out a little bit. I almost hung up. Listen.
Yeah, sorry
So
about
I'm looking
that.
up. I'm looking up your show Reunion. It was on Fox,
Okay.
2005.
Mm-hmm.
It's IMDb rating is 7.8 out of 10, so it's not a bad show at all. So
There was
you are
some
onto
corniness
something.
to it. Like one of the actors eventually ends up in a wheelchair and he's got this bad goatee. You know what I mean? So it's like it wasn't like the best produced show, but there were very
Right.
few and far between things that I was like embarrassed watching on it. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
But like it
It's
was an
good.
interesting story, and the way they were telling it and playing it out, and each year so much shit changed. It wasn't just
People
like,
should go check it out.
yeah,
Shit.
I don't know how you can check it out. I don't know if Fox has it available anywhere. I can tell you that I have it downloaded because I knew to stack these shows back in the day when it was like, this isn't going to last, but it's really good. I better download all
Right.
the episodes and put them on a disc.
Well, just even speaking of that, that was like the
I have a million of these, by the
almost
way.
my like introduction into television.
Into how to watch TV.
Well, yeah. Well, it was Joel like back. I don't know how long ago, but when you used to actually live in my house now,
Yeah.
is we sat down. We're like, dude, have you ever seen Lost? And I was like, I mean, I had stuff I watched. I guess movies were more my thing at that point. Like I was I was interested in movies, not so much TV shows, but there wasn't anything
And I gave you these as computer files.
great. You
didn't I?
gave me a computer. You had like a
Damn.
old computer that you,
The
that you
whole
let me
That's how
borrow.
insistent I was that
And
he
like here,
started doing it this
well,
way.
no, yeah, well, and that was like just sort of like the introduction. And we sat in his garage and we watched the first episode of Lost, and I was just like, we're not gonna dive into a huge like Lost detail thing, but like I was asking a million questions, and he's just looking at me like, I don't have any answers for you.
Right.
And I'm like, you've seen the whole first season, right? He's like, yeah. I don't have any
Still.
answers for you.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
still don't.
Right.
Motherfucker.
So like
Yeah.
it was like I just thought, and it just blew my mind because it just didn't make any sense. So that he sends me home with this computer with the whole first season of Lost on it and some other stuff. I think The Shield was on there, was one of the
Probably.
ones, and so then I watched the first season of Lost like all the way through. It was like a weekend, and the ending shot of them staring down into the hatch and whatnot, like, and I just like I think I even called him or texted him like, hey man, like. Can I come by and like load up and get the second season? He was like, "Yeah, no, it
He
hasn't.
got you.
It
He
hasn't
hooked
come
you.
out yet.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't started yet. It comes back in November or whatever the fuck date
Yeah.
it was." And I was like, "What? You can't.
Joe
This is some
got you with
bullshit.
the
You
old
can't do
trick
this to
from
me.
the-
Like what the fuck is this?"
I got him hooked on that.
So
snack.
He got-
it
he
was.
got you
So
like the
then,
old
what
trick for
but
the-
from that point
Yeah.
on, it was like Lost was like was appointment television. We were in front of the television.
I would
whatever time it
usually
needed to be.
download it. I'd avoid it all night, and then I'd download it the next morning with
Right.
no commercials.
So that was like
He got you with
and
the
then
after
like
school special drug addiction.
it basically
style
yeah.
of
Here I'll give you the first
selling.
one for free.
Yeah,
Yeah, I give you this
Right.
shit for free.
I
Bring
get
your
you the
friends
whole
afterwards.
setup.
Right.
Here's your whole kit.
Right.
Little
And then
thing
it
to
was
tie off your arm and everything.
right. And then it what the Shield with Michael Chiklis was an excellent television show. So that was just like it just kind of like rolled into
Vanilla
like
Milk Dud,
I really
Michael
like these
Chiklis.
television shows, and then like I mean, then entertainment had slowly rolled into what it's become today, where it's
I,
like
So
I feel
what's
like
your- what's
I feel like
your
Lost
old
was
school
the
pick?
beginning of television becoming like, in my estimation, a lot of times better than movies, especially for the early 2000s to like 2020. Well, like in that era.
Yeah, we had a lot of shitty movies around
Yeah.
that time.
to me
Once
old-
the Marvel stuff started kicking, I could see where you can make a case where that's better. But you know what I'm saying?
I don't know,
like,
man,
Yeah,
like,
you had to
TV
be watching a certain caliber of film around that time to actually enjoy movies more than TV because a lot of movies sucked.
Yeah.
Lot of movies.
And
Like,
it's
we was
only
making a
3
lot of
hours
bullshit.
max you're getting with a character.
That
Like,
was
unless
another
it's a
big one.
sequel or a trilogy, you're getting 2-3 hours with a character that you may love after the first 10 minutes, but
Mhm.
I would rather have 100 hours with them.
right long
And
form
watch them slowly
storytelling.
go crazy and
Yes,
kill a
I,
bunch of townsfolk with a dragon.
I,
But anyway, I hear you.
right.
No, it
To
wasn't
me, it
even
was just-
slowly go
I'm fucking with
crazy.
you.
It
I'm
didn't
fucking
even
with
get
you. I'm
started.
fucking
It
with
was
you.
out of nowhere. It was dumb.
It was
abrupt
never.
change.
It was never the same for me. Essentially, watching television after that, it was just, and then like, then I don't know. A few years later, after we was like married and moved in to our current house now, where we're paying fucking $200 and some odd dollars a month for cable. Good old Comcast with all all the packages, all that shit, the fucking bells and whistles for
Right.
the cable package, paying a shit ton of money. And I can't remember what it was, but like he came over and he's like, dude, like you should do it like this. And it's like the cord cutting thing where it wasn't like everything was so readily available at that point. It was like Netflix and then you download shit.
Yeah,
Like at that point. And Netflix selection
wasn't
was
great.
not great. I did it. I fucking bitched and moaned through the first few months of it. But then eventually things started happening, like Netflix original series started coming out. There was one called Hemlock Grove that I watched. It was
I
about
like that
werewolves. It was
show.
about werewolves and shit.
Wow.
It was back in the day. And it was just, to me, I was like, wow, this is a series that was done outside of any NBC, ABC, big television network influence.
Right, like this could work.
And it was like I mean, no, it wasn't the best show. Like it was about werewolves. If you're not interested
Right,
in
but
it,
the
it was
Netflix
really well
model could
done.
work, you
I
mean.
fucking followed the story. I enjoyed it. I think it would did it go 2 seasons or something like that. But anyway, so like that was one of the first like things that came up to me that I don't know if it was the original or first one, but it was one of the first Netflix original series. I know that it was
Right.
very early, and so I enjoyed that. And then it was just like I don't know. It was after that. I'm just thinking about this now. It's not like I thought about this before we had this conversation. So that I'm just kind of going back to trying to remember. I think from that point on, it was like, no, I want my television on my fucking terms.
Right.
I'm not going to be dictated to by Comcast what time I can watch shit, like all that. It just turned into like, yeah, I'm a cord cutter.
Yeah, they
Right.
shitted
Now,
on the game with
you know,
Netflix, and they made a lot of people switch to streaming and on demand, and that whole model is what the future is. Nobody has
well, and
time
I think even
to
back then we were
schedule
saying
their
that, like,
shit like that.
I was, trying to tell my parents, trying to talk other people into doing the same thing. Like, no, this is the way things are going to be. Like the whole cable box that you're paying
Sadly,
for,
we
that
predicted it
shit
all
is on
too
its way out.
exactly. But
Right.
especially with like, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Why don't channels just have they should be charging a monthly subscription based on the quality of their content. I just didn't realize there were going to be so many that would do genuinely a good enough job to deserve that money every month. Disney Plus does, Hulu does. Um, I don't know so much Netflix anymore. Michelle still watches it. I don't watch that much, but Peacock, that one is my favorite of the
Yeah,
streaming
Peacock came out of
services.
nowhere.
Yeah, see, I
It's
haven't.
great.
You'll have to give me your sign in so I can watch some of the stuff
Yeah.
on there. I haven't been able to like go peek through that
But
one.
Did you watch
But
the extended episodes of The Office, Dre?
no, I didn't know they had those on Peacock.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons they made director cuts that are just like
I'm
they
watching
added
that
in
shit.
some episodes went from 20 minutes to 40 minutes.
Oh, I'm watching that shit.
yeah,
Oh, you
you're
done
gonna
it.
be
Like
all over it.
that original scene when Michael comes out and is talking to Dwight and Jim and he's like, what? You know, like there's a whole other story in the middle of that he tells
Oh
that they
no,
just cut right out of it.
yeah, we gonna knock that shit out this weekend too. Hey, real
So
quick though.
yeah,
So Jeremy's not gonna answer the question, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer. Um,
well, answer what question?
the fucking show that you would recommend.
I've been waiting.
Don't just wait.
Show that I would
I have
recommend
I have one,
to what? You mean like
and it
what I'm
actually
watching?
no.
Well, I got more of
Uh,
those shows that got canceled too soon.
Oh, that's the
just
one he's
wanna,
talking about.
I just
Okay.
want to recommend a show for
I haven't
people
had a
to go
chance
back
to
and
answer,
watch
to be
that
fair.
actually finished and they didn't get canceled too soon.
Go ahead.
And I'm not gonna be funny about this, but seriously, I think people should go back and just start over watching The Wire. And no, I'm just being a dick.
You
But
wait a
no,
few seconds to see my reaction on the fucking YouTube video.
I know. I promise you, I'm waiting for it. But no, honestly, one of my favorite shows coming up when I was younger, I think people could get a lot from nowadays is an old black and white show called My Three Sons.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
I used to
I
watch
think
that.
people should go back and watch some of the old classics, like the old black and white, like Gidget, My Three Sons, Father Knows Best,
My only
stuff like
relation
that.
to that is a couple years ago, I was at a party and I was sitting at a table with my father-in-law, my stepdad, and my dad. And I went, my three dads. That's all I got.
Huh,
Wasn't
good
Richard
job,
Lewis
buddy.
in a show called My Two Dads
Maybe. I have no idea.
in like the 90s, early
That
90s?
so sound like a Richard Lewis thing to do.
Probably.
Let me see. I'm going to look that up.
No, here.
But no,
Just
yeah, go
to,
back and watch. That's my recommendation
Right.
without even saying too much. Go back and watch one of those old shows and just watch them episode by episode in order if you can find them. I promise you, like you can see a difference in the sensibility in the country, not just in the world, and how we act in society and the things that we cherish and look at. But there was a different sensibility back then. A lot of the stuff that we think it was so much nicer back then, a lot of that shit wouldn't even be acceptable now, just based on socially how we behave now. It's weird. You should really check it out.
okay.
Like you can't call
Yeah.
a fat kid right now, or a sissy.
Right.
That's
So,
that's the type of stuff that was like commonplace. You know what I mean? Like that it was okay to do that. And we always look back with rose tinted glasses, thinking like everything was so much more beautiful back then and super
Mm,
nice. But yeah,
But
a
isn't
lot of
it
that
super
shit,
misogynistic and like,
yeah.
that too.
yeah, like all that shit. All
Yeah,
of
see,
that would throw me off
Yeah,
watching it.
right.
It would.
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
why,
want
I'm
that's
not
why
gonna
I
go back
think
and
it's
watch
good to go back and
Honeymooners.
watch it.
I don't want to ruin
Right.
Mr. Ed for myself with, you know. I enjoyed that show. I remember the Patty Duke show. I don't want to go back and ruin
Patty,
that.
I had so much of I had a crush on Oh my God.
See, I guess
Patty
so.
fucking
So
We look alike, we talk
I mean,
alike.
the stuff that
Duke.
I
Walk
grew up
like
on.
illusion, cause they're
Cousins,
cousins. Oh,
identical
identical cousins. Oh my God, bro.
I
I had a
hate
fucking
both of you
crush
right
on
now
Patty
so
Duke.
much.
He's like, I
Bro,
just want to
Like
say my shit.
I
I
cannot
canceled.
roll my eyes any further into the back of my fucking head.
I,
Anyway, no, I don't know.
Why you keep banging the mic around?
I'm sorry. I just keep touching it.
Leave it alone.
It's a nervous tick. I don't know.
Jeremy, I know what you can watch from back then. Watch Gidget.
What is Gidget?
Gidget
I'm
is
not
the
gonna watch that.
inspiration for Quagmire. That was one of those type of beach bum, not like beach bum surfer kid type of shows from back in the day. Like it was just a weird. It's a vibe, I guess you can describe it as. It just gives you a different feeling. It's like they pulled Quagmire straight out of that era.
We're gonna have to start his own podcast about old TV shows.
Hey man,
I mean, he
we
went
watching
really
TV,
old.
baby.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
I don't like. You're
R54. Where are you? Like, I used to like that show.
Oh, that was the shit too.
I used to watch Nick at Night, and that's what all that stuff was
See,
on.
and I hated that.
I used to watch it on the actual
Like that was like
fucking
that.
food
That was to
TV.
me. That was like what I didn't want to watch. Like I hated that
What
when I
other
saw black and
options
white
were there?
television. Like I don't know. I just didn't want to watch that when I was a kid. I hated I Love Lucy and that all that shit that would come on Nick at Night. I did not like that. I did not enjoy
Even
that stuff.
Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
You didn't like Laverne and Shirley,
No.
bro?
No, man. That's not stuff that I liked when I was watching TV when I was growing up. So I mean, like, if you're asking me from when I was a kid, like, I don't have any. I probably don't have an answer as far as like classic old
Well, it don't have to
television
be
shows
from
like
that era.
that.
Just
But like,
what you would like to go back and see, like
I don't know.
Joel only went back to 2005, bro. I mean, it's whatever you want
Right,
to
fair
go
enough.
to.
Right.
It's your choice.
Right, that was the golden age of TV for me, and there was so much shit that had potential. Jericho. Like, I ended up reading
Jericho,
comic books
right.
after season.
Jericho was that
season
show
2.
about the end of the fucking world,
It was
right?
awesome.
It was good. Skeet
Yeah, I
Ulrich
started watching that shit. I
and the
forgot
mayor
all
and all
about
that.
that.
It was really
And then
good.
they brought it back for a season 2, and season 2 was excellent, if shortened. And then they canceled it again, and they left it on this major cliffhanger. And then comic books picked it up from there.
And they finished the
And
story.
I mean, Lenny James was in it from Walking Dead.
Right.
Nice.
Like,
It was a good show. I
it
enjoyed
was
that show too.
excellent.
Right. Man,
like, what happens if
like-
you're cut off from, communicating with the rest of the world? What does that
Right.
now feel like? And that's
well,
essentially what
no,
that
we
was.
result to tribalism is what
Yeah.
happens in most of those cases. Like the towns
man,
were
shout out
warring
to that.
against each other,
Yeah.
like this town versus this town. Like
Yeah.
that's how that ended up. Like they were being invaded by the people from like the next town over because of a trade dispute and shit.
Right.
But
I'm
As far as-
piling
I
on
had
on
a-
that with Joel.
I had a-
I like Jericho. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I had a funny conversation about like we were talking to streaming services about like the Netflix and like how like you just recognize Netflix by that noise. Is it making sound? I just
Yes,
keep,
every
I keep,
time you
it's just
tap it on the
right.
table.
oh the cord is hitting the table.
Yeah, the mic thing itself is hitting the table. Well, I mean, that's sure that works.
Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the Netflix, like how you just recognize Netflix by the noise. The doo-doo.
Right.
Right. So have you noticed the new Hulu one? Like when you restart Hulu now, they have a like a little. No, I haven't memorized it yet. It hasn't like ingrained itself into my brain quite like the Netflix one does. But like it's like a little Hulu like noise. And I was like, it'd have been funny to be in that meeting at that giant conference table at the Hulu headquarters. Like I want 30 different versions of the Netflix noise on my fucking desk by Friday.
So, right.
Right.
Right. And then the dude's just sitting in his office just playing fucking like number 7.
Right.
Like, until they finally
They
fucking
have a
came
new
up
one
with
for
one.
HBO.
I was just like, I know, like everybody's doing that because it worked. Because like you hear that noise, like it's
You know who started that
right.
shit, right?
Yeah, Microsoft.
Exactly. The fucking achievement sound.
okay.
That
See, it's just
I think
to
Joe
me,
was
it just-
going with the
I-
Windows startup.
Yes, that's what I was going
Joe
with.
was going with the Windows startup, but I was saying like in today's like ether or whatever you would call it.
Uh-huh.
I think that achievement sound
What
just
is the
like
achievement
became a
sound?
See,
thing.
I
What are
don't.
you
I
talking
can't even
about?
see to me like you're saying that, but I can't
You
even
don't
think of
remember
that
the
off the top of
achievement
my head.
sound, bro?
I don't know
No,
what that means.
I can't think of that off the top of my head.
Achievement in what?
Just little boom and whatever the fuck it do,
Like
and
in
then
if
you
you
get
get
a little
like
achievement pop up.
the Xbox, so like you playing.
Oh, I
See,
don't
he was
play
never
video
played
games.
Xbox. He doesn't really play video games like that.
I'm Joel. I'm too good to play video
I'm sorry,
games.
you threw out a
I just
reference.
don't
there.
have time, man. I feel like I'm not doing something productive with it. Whereas, like,
He's
if
fucking
I'm,
hating.
I'm not hating. I can't bring myself to spend 4 hours doing something that isn't going to like last. As
I
in,
can
like,
feel that.
it's
Well,
a
and that's why we
finished
got to just
product,
start
or it's a but,
recording,
yeah.
right? Recording all the video game play, and that way it lasts.
Yeah, see, there you go. That would interest me considerably more than
like even just
disappearing into the ether.
when I started doing the streaming thing a year or so ago, you were like way interested in the production and doing this side of it. Like you helped me get the whole setup working and everything,
I
and that
like
was like your
production.
interest was peaked with that way more than actually playing the games.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, man, I don't even think I even talked about what I watched this week. I wanted to talk about
You
the
said that
Netflix
movie.
series that's out right now because that's what I was going to lead into that with the whole Netflix bit with the Hulu thing. But anyway, Arcane. It's based on a video game called League of Legends, which is enormously popular throughout the world. I, for one, have never played it. It's like a three-quarter view strategy style game, isn't it? If I'm not
I have no
mistaken.
idea.
I've never played the League
Okay.
of Legends.
Okay, so anyway, it's a massively popular game, and they finally got they did a series on Netflix. I hadn't read or heard anything about it. I saw the trailer pop up, and I was like the animation drew me in instantly.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I'm watching that
I
shit.
drew you in.
There you go.
Oh, I
The
see
first
what
3
you did.
episodes are out right now. I was blown away by how good it was. Drama wise, story wise, action wise, it's got my full unbridled attention. Like the new episodes are coming out weekly, I think on Saturdays. I'm fucking pumped. I'm super excited for the new episode on Saturday. I was drawn into where like by the third episode, like I was like gut wrenched by what was happening, like on the screen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was fucking cool. Like and like where they're going forward with it should be really cool. The whole style of the animation, it reminds me a lot of What If with a little bit more of a comic booky, cartoonish look. I don't know how you get more than What If, but like it just What If had like a more like lighthearted comic booky feel. This one's like a little more darker, feels more like a video game, I guess. They're very similar. The animations are very similar. They're very, very good. The character building was great. I want more of the world. Even though I had never played the game,
Yeah.
I'm in. Like I'm fully. The theme song is by one of my least favorite bands of all time.
But you have to explain it the way you explained it to me.
Oh, they fucking duped me again. They got me again.
And I'm
Because
like, I don't know
I'll
what
hear
that
these
means.
Imagine Dragons songs, and I'm like, I like that song. It sounds kind of good. Who is that? Oh, it's fucking Imagine Dragons. Goddamn, selling their souls to get on the Super Bowl commercial or some shit. You know, like this is the type of music that they make.
I
But
think
anyway,
you
they did
just
the
need
theme.
to come
So
to
the first
terms
thing,
with the fact that you're a fan of
right,
Imagine
no,
Dragons.
no,
I'm
not-
curious.
right,
How
it's
do you
funny.
like the song and then don't like that you like it? What is that?
It was weird. It's such a
Self-hatred.
weird thing because
Right, like,
I
what
was
the
sitting there
fuck?
and the theme song comes on and I was like, that's kind of catchy. I like that. That band sounds familiar. I look it
Oh,
up
is
and I'm
it?
like,
Oh.
motherfucking Imagine Dragons. Are you serious? But yeah, I can't stop listening to the theme song. So I mean, like I said, I was in basically with the trailer. I was hoping that it panned out to be very, very good. I thought the first 3 episodes were excellent, and
No, I probably
I'm
can knock
in.
those out tonight.
So you probably should. I
Yeah, I'll
fully
save the other
recommend it.
shows for this
through.
weekend, but I'll do that
I think
tonight.
it could involve a weekly discussion about. I mean, not necessarily the whole episode,
Yeah,
but
no, but
maybe
just
like,
like, hey, we're
during
gonna
the
touch on
like,
that
hey,
now.
check it out.
Yeah.
Like if we all 3 were watching it weekly, it'd be kind of just cool to touch on it. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if you will. I don't know if you'll see it the same way I do. We do tend to fall similarly on a lot of
I mean,
shows.
we
and,
got each
like,
other
if you
into
say-
Attack on
if
Titan.
You say I
Was
know,
that you
like
that got me on
I-
started on that? You watched that whole season and then told me to watch it.
I think I was. It was one of those points where like you're super. There's nothing new out. And you're just super bored with what's
Yeah.
on, and I was looking for new stories, so I clicked on Attack on Titan, on Netflix and watched the first few episodes, and I was like, dude, this story is really wild. And I told him about it, and he got fully into it. So I'm like, maybe
Did
it's
we
not
watch
so.
the whole first
Maybe it's
season before we realized they had English English
right, and then we
dubbed?
went back and watched it again with the English. But so maybe it's not so far fetched that you'll buy into it.
Right.
But I mean, I had no preconceived notions about it at all. I'm not a huge fan of the video game. I've never even played it, so I
Would
can't.
you consider playing it now?
I mean, maybe it's not really my style of
So the
game.
show worked.
I think it's kind of a like a 3/4 view strategy, like where you kind of build your own base kind of thing, and then you send your minions off to fight. I think it's a online competitive game in that respect.
Okay.
Like I just never. I've watched it played live, like on tournaments and shit like that, and people are going nuts. Like a full fucking stadium is watching people play this game.
Which is just weird
It's-
in and of itself.
It is. I would think that would lend.
Wait a minute. You both are going to sit here and tell me that people sitting in a stadium watching people play a game is ridiculous?
I didn't say it was ridiculous.
A video game to me is ridiculous.
But it's a
yeah.
game. It's still a game. Like
It's
it's
not
the
a
same
sport, though.
shit.
I mean, it's an e-sport.
Yeah, I mean, you can label it whatever you want. They're both
Just like I
everybody's
say,
just
I say
playing
the
a
same
game.
thing. I argue the same way against like auto racing and any kind of like racing where you have a motorized vehicle either under you or you're sitting inside of it is not a sport. It's a motor sport. You know?
You like
I don't
throwing
know.
you like throwing qualifiers.
Everybody
on
like what
It's
they
just
like, man.
you know what I'm saying?
I
It is what it
guess.
is. I'm just saying, like, for what it is, for me, like I said, I had no idea about the story of League of Legends. I know nothing about it at all. Great. I thought it was great.
Okay.
Right. So
All right.
I would
Hey, we
definitely
need some
check
kind
it
of
out.
graphic to throw on the screen where we can just like put a list on the side of some shit.
I'll throw it in the description if somebody types it up. I don't want to
Alright.
try to listen.
I mean, we
I
can
gotta
totally
listen
do.
back.
We can work on doing stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
can
Like,
have-
I know how to create the
I'll
PNGs
find-
and the files to pop up on the screen.
I'll
to where they
find a
show up.
BitTorrent link for any of these shows that are not available otherwise and post it in the description.
Man, that's gangster.
But I mean, I don't know, like how
Shout out
much
to
even isn't
BitTorrent.
available at this point. Like I know some stuff isn't, but like most of it, you can probably find under one of the streaming services you're already paying.
I
for.
don't. You cannot find Traveler anywhere.
Traveler.
If
Now,
I find
who?
it, I'll
what
send
was
it
it?
tonight.
What?
Isn't there one with it that started with an M that you used to like? But was it Millennia or?
There was Revolution. There was the event. There was what with an M?
I can't think of it.
There's like a running
It's like
theme
a
to
logo,
the shows that
like-
Joel likes.
What's that?
You like those like mysterious situation, post-apocalyptic, figure out what's happening type of thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
my
why he
jam.
fell in
That's
love
what's
with
up.
Lost. That's why Lost was like the perfect television show for him.
Because it
That's
blended
what's up.
that with all these other elements I didn't know I liked, like sci-fi. I didn't know I liked sci-fi. I thought that was for dorks. And then like I watched Lost, I'm like, oh, that's what they mean? That's fucking awesome. I love all that shit.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a theme to my shit. I think I'm more sporadic. And I just like, I watch whatever like catches my fancy. If I see some shit and I like it, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll watch this shit.
See, now you're nonplussed by twists and turns. I like that shit. Like that's my jam. It's like either
Sometimes they work though.
either calling
wanna be
something
caught
that's
off guard,
coming
yeah.
or not seeing it coming at all. Both of those are equally as fun to me. So like I
Sometimes
think
they
that's why I
work for
like
me,
it. There's a
but
challenge
sometimes
there.
it's just like, like when in X-Files when the smoking man was saying some shit about Mulder being his kid. I was like, eat a dick. I've been watching this show all these fucking years, and you gonna tell me the smoking man is your dad? Like, I don't. It was stupid.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
where
know.
it went? Is that really where it
Yeah,
went?
yeah. Eventually, he got to a point where he told Mulder he was his fucking dad.
Okay, well that would explain why he was always hanging around.
Yeah, and then he was hiding in a cave like Bin Laden in the last season. It was like, what the fuck? It was weird.
Mulder.
X-Files was one of my favorite shows of all time.
Didn't they like come back just within the last couple of
They
years?
did a
with, like,
movie and then they did another
They
season.
did a few movies, and then they did a small show. Yeah, Joe
like
got
one
it
of the
right on
shorter
it.
Like a
form, like
limited-
10, 12 episode thing.
Yeah. They did one of those
I-
for 24. Sorry, they did a 12 episode or a 9 episode version of 24. How does that work? Exactly. We could see 9 hours of a day.
Right,
Ooh,
it was right. Yeah, it was.
call it 9
To be fair,
then.
most of the time they was asleep.
Or it was just.
I never
you-
watched
you-
24.
No, they were not asleep. They would be up the entire time. Kiefer
No, I'm saying
Sutherland would be doing
the other
shit. But
15 hours of the day they was asleep.
yeah, exactly. Like they just didn't show us everything wrapped up in 9 hours. Not as impressive as like the full day marathon of like everything that can
I
possibly
never
go
watched the whole
wrong.
season of it.
It's
Hey man,
crazy.
shout out to Donald Sutherland. This dude was a dope ass actor, legendary, and he gave us Keither. What's up?
You say Keither?
Is Donald Sutherland
Yeah, I
dead?
say Keither. I don't want to say Kiefer. It sounds fucking weird.
It's Kiefer.
It's Kiefer.
I know.
It's
I
something
know
else.
what it is, but I'm going with Keither.
It's Kiefer. It's flour.
Keither sounds worse.
Kiefer sounds horrible.
All
Like
right,
put a
look at that.
fucking put a T in your name, bitch. Get the fuck out of
Why
here.
do you want a T instead of an F?
Because the name is
WTF?
the
It was
name is
just-
Keith.
It was just the way
It's
he wrote
Keith.
his T's on the birth certificate.
No, but it was
just kinda
like it's
looked like
Keith.
an F.
But
And
it's
you're
not Keith.
Keither.
You
Yeah,
just
but
were
it-
bigging
but
up the guy who
Kiefer-
named him that.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't his real name.
I'm just
What do you
saying.
mean you don't think that's his real name?
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
the
sure- didn't he
stage- that might be a
he
stage name.
Changed his name to Kiefer.
I bet you Donald Sutherland named him that.
Ronald McDonald.
His
Sutherland.
original name is like Mike.
Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus Sutherland.
Wow.
That's the guy that you were bigging up. The guy that
Dempsey.
named his son that. Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus.
It's like he's
He
got a bunch.
put
He was named after a bunch
Dempsey
of
in that
famous
bitch.
actors.
What in the hell? That is such a tangent I never could have thought to come across.
How in the hell do you name?
KWFDGRS.
That's
Those are his
incredible.
initials.
Hey. Wow.
What?
Hey, we learn something new every day, and you know what? That's
So Donald Sutherland and
that's the-
Shirley Douglas
that's
both
the-
agreed on that. You're both culpable for that.
that's the kind of stuff that you're going to get here. Deep dive.
Yeah, deep dive into people's born
people's,
names.
like,
That's
right.
so
that name
interesting.
is that name is epic now.
It
I'm
is.
actually starting to accept Kiefer.
Oh, you'll take Kiefer because of the William
Eh,
Frederick Dempsey George Rufus?
No,
William Frederick
just the
Dempsey
Dempsey.
George
I mean,
Rufus.
just the
Kiefer.
Dempsey.
Kiefer William. Say it again.
Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus
Wow. Okay.
Sutherland. Got to throw that in there.
Okay.
I know he had a shitty time growing up with that fucking name.
You know he didn't tell anybody that. They're not going Kiefer William Frederick
And
Dempsey
And while he was
George
growing up, his
Rufus.
dad was Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, but his dad was the scary dude from Invasion of
Yeah,
the
it
Body
sounded like
Snatchers.
he was-
Exactly. Like nobody was going to pick on him.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I can see that.
My dad is a space monster, bitch.
I don't know. Really have too much else. I know you said you needed to cut out of here by a certain time, so we'll
still
probably
got
wrap it up
15
here
minutes.
pretty soon. Oh well,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
good.
just yeah, like you guys should definitely check out Arcane. Watch the
Yeah,
first
I'm
three
gonna do that
episodes.
tonight. You said it's 3 episodes out already.
Three
so I'm
episodes
gonna
out
dive in.
already, and then there's a new one tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Friday. New one Saturday.
All right.
Oh, and then
I'm just
tomorrow-
gonna double down and say, if you haven't watched The Witcher first season yet, please go back and watch it before the second season starts, so you
Right.
won't be lost.
And then I guess
You guys are going to check out Chernobyl?
yeah,
definitely
actually it's
watching
5
Chernobyl
episodes.
this
I'll probably
weekend.
check that out. Upcoming tomorrow. Today's the 11th, so tomorrow's the 12th. Shang-Chi drops on Disney Plus. So if you haven't seen that one,
I'm still.
you're probably
yeah.
far away from that as far as your chronological order watch.
I'm not chronological ordering. I'm
fucked it up.
release
You were
ordering.
using
Yeah,
the-
I'm pissed at that. I figured that.
He-
Did I tell you about that, Dre?
Yeah, what happened?
He screwed up the order.
We were watching it. I started I guess I started phase 1. I thought I was going into the chronological playlist. And then Michelle the other day goes, "Okay, we just finished Civil War. Next up is Black Panther." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure it said Doctor Strange."
Right.
And then I look and she's in the chronological playlist. I'm like, "No." And then we scrolled back and like the second movie was Captain Marvel. I'm like, there's no point now. I can't. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go back and rewatch all of these,
That-
so I
it
see them in the
kinda
right
fucks you
order.
up.
So I'm just
Right.
watching in the order they were released.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I-
it's okay to do that because I mean, outside of Captain Marvel and
There's not a whole lot of stuff out of order that
Yeah,
Winter
there's nothing
Soldier
you really
stuff.
have to switch too much of outside of Captain
No, that's
Marvel.
what I
And
told him.
then
I don't think he
the
ruined the
fact that
order
Disney
too
Plus
much.
doesn't allow you to watch the Spider-Man movies as part of those,
Right.
you kind of have to
Are
throw
you
those in
supposed to?
yourself.
Spider-Man
You
movies are part of
should.
it.
They both
I
are
don't think
MCU movies.
you haven't skipped one yet. Um, when's Homecoming fit in?
Actually, Homecoming come right after Civil War. That would be his next movie.
So no,
Right, because he appeared in that, didn't he?
yes, he did.
Yep.
Um,
And
but it
Homecoming
doesn't.
is right after he went home.
But
It's
it's
literally like the next
also
week.
Black Panther's right after that too, right? So you could watch
Black
Black
Panther, yeah,
Panther or Spider-Man in either order, in my opinion.
But Black
true
Panther's
that.
not. Oh, that's next chronologically. Yeah, yeah. I
Right.
still have. I'm watching Doctor
Right.
Strange now.
Shout out to Doctor Strange. I
Okay.
just watched that shit again for the first time in my movie theater, and I
He
shit
sent
you
me
not,
pictures
it's
of it.
one
It
of the
looked
most
fucking
beautiful
awesome. Like the
things.
pictures of his screen looked
I
incredible.
I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
not know that this TV
It was
screen could
crazy.
produce colors on that level,
It
but
was
I hadn't
the
really
colors were
tested it with
insane.
anything.
But I wouldn't mind getting together and talking Shang-Chi in a couple
Yeah, we can
Isn't
do
days.
there
that.
some option where we can watch it together remotely?
Yep,
They had the watch party thing on Disney Plus, I believe.
but it sucked. All you do is put emojis in there.
Yeah,
No, no. Who
well,
gives a shit about
it's
chatting
just as long
on
as we're
it?
watching it all timed
It's
up,
just
is what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying so
We
that
could
we
chat.
can watch
We
it
could
at the same.
fucking
We
text
text
each other back and forth
All right,
to
yeah,
do
we can
that.
do that.
But so that starts on the 12th. That comes out tomorrow. So I mean, I've only seen it once at the theater,
Okay.
so I wouldn't mind actually taking a really lot closer look to that at that movie. And I don't even think me and you. I know we were talking Marvel stuff a lot just on the phone, Dre. But I don't even know that we really like talk that movie out. So it'd be kind of fun to like
Yeah, I
just to
was having
really
a
reel
hard
it.
time because I was a little further ahead than everybody, and so I had to kind of be quiet for a while. Because not just you, but a couple of our other buddies that everybody was kind of behind, and me with such a loose schedule, I was just like everything that came out, I watched it immediately.
Right away. So yeah,
So
I know it was a
right, so
couple of days
I had
before
to
I got
kind
to
of
go
just be
see it.
quiet.
Is there anything that you've seen that you just haven't got around to watching yet? Like, yeah, anybody,
Double
either
O
of you.
Seven.
Yeah,
No interest.
I never actually bought into
Never got into Bond.
the new. Uh, I've seen a couple of them, but I never got like super into the story.
I prefer
Yeah,
Fast and the Furious, and I'm
you
sure
should go
that'll make
stub
him
your
lose
toe
his
on
shit.
purpose.
It's not again. It's not one of these things where I'm objecting to watching it. I just haven't.
I am.
That's all.
I know, but I feel like right now because I know your personality, if I try to sell you on it, you're gonna be very resistant to it, and I kind of really want you to fucking watch it. The
Why?
Daniel
What are
Craig
the
Bond
stakes
movies
in
are dope as
Bond?
hell.
What are the stakes in Bond? Is it the world
The
is going to
world.
die?
It's always the world and a chick. It's never changed. It's 50 plus years of this shit.
Right. Well, I mean, I think what I'm learning from this podcast, and I mean this in no way offensively, you like nostalgia. You like the
Oh
stuff
yeah.
that you've seen. Like,
So do you?
yeah. No, I'm
Right.
saying like very
But see, no,
specifically,
he's
he
right though.
likes
That's the through
those
line
things
right
that
there.
he's
Right.
seen before. He likes seeing them again in different ways. Is that
Yep.
fair to say?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
It's a comfort
Except
thing,
for
I
the
think.
Pocahontas story.
What about Pocahontas?
Fuck Pocahontas and fuck Avatar.
Oh yeah, because Avatar was just a Pocahontas story.
I never
Yeah.
saw Pocahontas. I thought Avatar was okay. I thought it was not
That's because
nearly
it
like
wasn't a
the
cartoon no
greatest
more.
thing that everybody acted like it was God's gift to movies.
Did it deserve its own section at fucking Disney World? Yeah, I don't know about that. Does it deserve its
No.
own 5 sequels coming up
No.
for movies? I don't know
So
about
I
that.
guess you could say that Avatar was the Big Bang Theory of blockbuster movies.
Sure.
It's not a
Commercially
it's an-
popular,
it's an-
kind of hollow.
It's an apt.
Yeah,
It's a
but
very
that's why
apt comparison.
McDonald's has billions of
That's actually a
customers and
perfect. That's
other
really
people
good.
don't.
That was a really good description.
He's shitting on something you really like, but
Commercial.
it
Listen,
was funny.
I'm okay with that. Like I said, like we discussed this. If you like it, you like it. It doesn't matter.
Listen,
like I
man,
said,
you
like
gotta like commercial
uh,
shit.
like-
That's why they make this shit.
right.
They
To
know
me,
what they're
okay,
doing. It's a formula. It
I-
works.
the fact that they
Again-
have an Avatar land and they don't have a hatch at Disney World and they own Lost.
You guys might come to me and Arcane might end up feeling like that.
Feeling like what?
Heavily. I don't know how popular it is. I haven't looked into anything as far as like watching people react to it or anything like that to see what the feedback is on it on that show. But I'm saying that it could feel something that could be really commercially popular and that like I like because of that, you know, like because the formula works on me per se with that kind of stuff, you know. Like again, I'm a Marvel fan. Like
You're their target demographic.
Yes, they got me. Like I'm gonna take my money. So
Right.
It was like, we saw this guy at the store. He was buying hair pomade and hoodies.
And then they put Iron Man on it, and I bought 7.
Right.
Wait till you see the Halo Spartan bar soap that I ordered.
I swear on my soul, I'm not even trying to be funny. Me and my son was actually talking about buying that shit.
The Dr. Squatch. Yeah, I got it. It's on its way.
Yeah, I'm upset.
I really
I'm
thought this
upset
was
that
a
you
bit.
beat me to it.
I really thought you were doing a bit right now.
No, I'm not doing a bit. I ordered Halo soap. It's happening. It's coming. I ordered Star Wars soap. Dr. Squatch, man.
I hope
Yeah,
that shit
check it
smell
out.
good.
Hey, sponsor
I
us.
kinda
Dr.
wanna get
Squatch.
it.
Sponsor us.
Dr. Squanch?
Squatch. Like
Squatch.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, yeah.
Yeah. It's a brand of like
Want to
men's.
smell like a Sasquatch?
No, the smells are really good.
Smells like King Kong's
I have
dick.
been out on bar
Strong
soap.
enough for a Sasquatch.
I have been
A
out.
pH
I haven't
balance
used
just for you.
I haven't used bar soap since I was a little fucking kid. You know, once I started getting my own bathroom products. This shit is awesome. It's fucking great. I don't
That's
like
what's up.
I don't use deodorant. Like I'm not putting like stick deodorant anymore.
What are you using?
Nothing.
Crystals, motherfucker.
I smell like my fucking bar soap.
Sorry, you're not popping deodorant anymore?
Not unless it's like if it's like in the summertime, yeah. But like right now,
I feel like this is one of those moments when like your close family member or somebody tell you that they think the earth is flat.
listen, man.
Right, like
If
it's sort of
somebody
blowing my
tells me,
mind a little
if somebody
bit.
tells me I stink, like, hey, I
Don't
would
get
I would
close
go
enough
back
to
to
people
wearing.
to know if you stink.
Fair enough, but like, you can
Ask
smell
Jenna, she'll
yourself,
tell
and
you.
I am not a person that's gonna hide that. Like if I, oh shit, I smell
Shout
bad.
out to Jeremy.
I literally
man.
smell my
Fuck
bar soap.
Fuck deodorant, man.
I
Break the
mean,
chains.
okay, so here's the thing.
You goddamn
Michelle
rebel.
makes fun of me for it, but I have to like buzz like manscape in that area for it to even be remotely not like I have to, or else like I feel like the hair holds the fucking smell.
You shave your armpits?
Yes, not like buzz, but like with like an attachment, like you would shave your face.
Oh, I've never done that. No.
Yeah, like it starts getting fucking bunched up, and then it holds. Like I'll take a shower and I'll still smell like BO afterwards, like because of
Yeah.
that. So I was just like, yeah,
Yeah,
get rid
hair
of that,
follicles hold on to a lot of shit.
right? So
Yeah.
and that immediately eliminated. I'm like, okay, that feels much better, anyways.
I mean, like I said, if I was walking
need to
around
have
and
buckwheat in a headlock.
I'm not doing any like super hard labor either. So
Right.
like, fair enough. Like I'm not breaking a huge sweat all the time,
Right.
but I don't feel like I smell bad. I don't at all. Like
It's interesting.
Can
If I
we
were to
title the
stick-
show that I don't feel like I smell bad?
It's
that could be the
yes,
title of the episode.
It's almost like the hubris to think that you have such a perfect bar of soap that the laws of human scent no longer apply to you. Like, isn't that
That's crazy as shit. And he got
Right?
on the fucking
Like,
sweater
everybody
hoodie,
uses
man.
soap.
I'm
so that
saying
one's
that there's
so
stuff
good.
in the soap that stays on your skin that acts as deodorant. You don't fucking smell bad. I don't smell bad.
No, that's not my question. My question is like I thought deodorant like muted the
There's
the
aluminum
things.
in deodorant that like blocks your
The pores or
sweat
whatever.
pores. Right, that shit is not healthy for you.
But so if it's still, I guess what I'm asking is if the one you're using that you're putting over your whole body is still doing that same
not.
thing in your armpit.
It's not doing that. That's the point. It doesn't have aluminum in it.
Well, no, not the aluminum part. The blocking the scent from. Isn't that doing it everywhere now instead of just your armpit? Like I guess I'd have to look into. I'm sure they explain on their website how it
Dude,
works.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's just a
but
long commercial
like I
for
said,
them, but
like
I
normally,
promise
if I
y'all
were to
feel like at this point the
smell myself
Illuminati's
right
gonna
now,
come
like
into
if
this
back in the
conversation.
day,
like
I
you
would
put your
smell
nose
like,
in your
I
armpit
would
and you
smell BO.
yeah,
I smell the soap that I'm using.
huh? And how long ago was this
When
shower?
I took a shower this morning at 8, 9.
Okay, huh? Interesting.
I mean,
That's what's
the
up,
soap
man.
is not
Dr. Squatch, man.
there's antiperspirant and there's deodorant. Those things are two different things. They combine into one usually.
Right.
The soap is
Hey,
not an
yo,
antiperspirant.
if somebody at
You know
Dr.
what I mean?
Squatch happen to watch this shit, man, send us some free soap so we can
Seriously,
test
like
that shit
I
out
like
We
for
I'm
you.
just
not
talked
kidding. Like
about
if
it
you
for
want to
like
hear, like
3.5
I,
minutes and
I'm a
tried to
huge
break it
fan.
down.
This is not. I'm not. We are not sponsored by Dr. Squatch in any way. They have not given us any free
That's why they
anything.
need to send us
I'm
some shit.
paying
'Cause
my
we
subscription monthly,
That's why
so
we-
I
Well,
enjoy
wait
the
for-
product, and I'm just telling you, like it is what it is. And if they happen to hear this and want to sponsor us,
send me
Right.
some Halo soap.
Dr. Squatch, all the way.
I'm big
See,
enough nerd for
those are
that
the
one.
kinds of products, though. Honestly, that I would like. I would want to sponsor something that I was already using,
Right.
something that I was
Facts.
already enjoying, and already knew that this product was good. And if they
Look.
came to us and said, "Well, you talked about our product on your show. Here's a sponsorship. If you do a 1 minute read every episode,
Hey,
here's
Joe.
Yeah.
you know, I'm down."
We gonna come in next week. We gonna be sponsored by medium-sized fleshlights.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, Fleshlight got Joe Rogan where he was at.
And
I'll
that's
take it. We
I
were
mean,
trying to explain that to his dad the other night. It was hilarious.
oh man.
He was like, I
Wait.
said something about pocket pussy, and he was like, if they invented a pocket pussy, you guys would never even be born or some shit like that. It was something along that. I was like,
yeah, Dad.
yeah, it exists. I don't know
How
what
did
you're
you
talking
not
about.
know
It's
that-
called the Fleshlight. It sponsored Joe Rogan's show for several years.
Wow, that was a good
I
transition.
don't
'cause
think I
had
don't
no
think
clue.
sponsors are going to be chasing us down. That's not being self-deprecating. I just
No,
mean realistically. So like, I would rather just if there is one that we're passionate about, just do it anyway. Who gives a shit?
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm Dr. Squatch, drsquatch.com. Check out their shit. I love it. It's good. They have deodorant. They have all that shit there. If you want to
don't
buy
need it.
like I don't. If I
Do they
felt like-
say you don't need it if you use that?
no, it's
soap?
not that they're advertising that. No.
Hey man, we gonna have to bring Jeremy's wife in, Jenna.
Right,
gonna
we're
have
gonna
to
need a
bring her
second
in to Give
opinion.
him a sniff test
She thinks I smell good.
on air or some shit. Cause I think it's all cap. I think he bullshitting. I think that dude is.
You
mustard.
don't use
He
them.
just keep the
fucking
hoodie on
stupid-
for that.
Mackenzie just informed me of this cap word.
Yeah, it's cap.
Yeah.
El Capitan.
No, that's not allowed here.
I don't. I guess
Why
I don't
not?
understand what
I don't know.
what
It's
is
just I don't know what
It came from Tombstone. That's the first time I heard it.
Wait, what are we talking about right
Mackenzie told us yesterday that saying something is cap is saying something is
Yeah.
bullshit or
Well,
horseshit.
you lying.
It's not. You're lying.
Right, it's cap. I thought that came
And
from
he
the
said
old
it in
slave.
context in a sentence there, and I
now?
understood what he
what?
meant
To where? Why is
because
that
of the
a thing?
conversation I had with Mackenzie yesterday.
No, not you. Why is that a thing?
I don't know.
What does it mean?
That I don't know. She didn't know.
It
She
just
had no
it's
explanation.
the same thing that it always meant. It's I thought that's like when Doc Holliday called Johnny Tyler the Madcap, the guy that was played by Billy Bob Thornton when he was talking shit about like shooting people at the at the card
It's been
game.
a long time since I've seen Tombstone.
Yeah, but that was the term he used. It was like the Madcap. You know, I thought.
So
that
you
was,
think millennials
So
have
that's what you-
adapted a line from the
all
movie
this shit is a
Tombstone?
reduction of.
That's
yeah,
your
that's how
theory
languages
here?
work. It's always a reduction of what you got before you. You know what I'm saying? It's
Wait,
like
but
we
how did it
shorten
get into Mackenzie's hands? Like, how does that
Her
work?
age group,
Because we
that's
all
right.
still in America, baby. We
What?
all said
Wait, what?
like people.
What does
We
that
all
mean?
still in America. What I'm saying is we use that same language over generations.
But
It
nobody,
just
I've never heard
evolves.
anybody say that in my
First
life.
time I heard it was yesterday, and then you used it like it was nothing just now.
Right. So
Yeah, it's
you're
cap.
that familiar with it from
I like I said, I heard it
From
from way back in
Tombstone?
the day. From Tombstone.
right?
Yeah.
I guess
And
that.
then you've just been hearing it recently.
How
with
does it
the-
get to millennials?
the uptick in the use of the word cap?
Now this is how to watch TV. I don't want to show y'all how to like break down languages and slang, but the point is
Go on.
that's how language works. We use the shit and then we shorten it and it morphs, and over the time, you know, people use it sometimes in the same context.
I will never
sometimes it's
allow
slightly
that's 100 to be a phrase that is
100.
accepted.
It's not 100 no more.
I
It's
know
100.
it's very dumb and like
That means it's 100% true.
right. What I'm saying is 100% true. It's a dumb thing. Like I feel like when I hear somebody say it, I think less of them. Like I think you're an
Damn.
idiot for like, and I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm saying I hear people say that. I'm like, you sound so dumb right now. I don't know why, but that's just
You know what? I'll tell you this. I saw this.
I mean, is it
And
that
there's a
far
great
from
explanation. The
uh,
reason why we
saying
have the
ugh?
entire The reason why we have
I'm
the
gonna type
entire
that in a text.
Italian language
You say ugh.
is because the Italian
Oh,
language
ugh.
started as slang
Yeah, you say it all the
Spanish.
fucking time. Instead of
So it's
ugh, it's
like
supposed to be
people
like
just say shit differently. That's
like
all.
that's what that is supposed to be. You're not supposed to say the word
I
ugh.
think Michelle seeped that one into me. She
No,
says
you
that.
have been doing that before you met Michelle. You used to do ugh. You used to do it all the
Ugh?
What's
time.
ugh?
Ugh. Like you're like
You actually
ugh.
say it like you
Yes, he
pronounce it?
says it like a word. Yes, he does it.
Okay, I'll take.
Yeah.
I genuinely, that's my glass shattering moment there. I've never realized
never
that.
been-
Period. Like I don't know.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying
Well,
to like
hey, listen,
shatter
I
your
say
glass
yellow
ceiling.
when I
I was
answer the
just
phone.
No, like on
right.
like on How I Met Your Mother, when they said something and then it broke. You heard the glass shatter sound effect, and then now they couldn't unsee that thing, whatever it was. Like Marshall was told Lily chews her cereal loud, and then he's sitting there, and it's like she's chewing a bucket of nails. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. How I
I'll
met
pay
your mother.
attention for ugh.
Okay.
But I don't know why that 100 thing. Like every time I see people use it on a text, on a comment on Facebook, I'm just like, ugh. It
See,
feels like you're
the one I
hopping on
hate
a
is the muscle arm
bandwagon.
thing.
Texting it.
The one I hate is the muscle arm thing. Whenever somebody takes some
Yep.
shit and then you see like the fucking
Mhm.
muscle arm, like the fuck.
It's all this
think they
just
mean on the
bandwagon
strength.
hopping crap. It feels like
I
when I
rarely
was a
type
kid and
emojis.
people would try to talk slang and say like dog and yo. Like I wouldn't say dog. I would never go up and genuinely say to somebody, "Yo, dog."
Hey,
Like
dog.
it sounded
Hey, dog, eh?
so it sounded so phony. And
Well,
like,
let me ask you this:
go on.
why in the fuck? I'm sorry, I might be the only one cursing on this
No, you're
podcast
good.
episode.
It's
But-
now 6:00.
Oh yeah.
But let me ask you this question: why in the hell did everybody on the goddamn Walking Dead have a name except for T Dog?
Yeah, I'm kind of like cringing at that. I don't really know. It's
No, I
not-
really kind of
probably
want
not
to
a
know
great
that.
answer.
Wait.
That shit
Ask
always
the
bothered me.
question one more time.
Well, you were talking about you didn't like to say dog, and that just brought up that memory in my head. Why did everybody on The Walking Dead have a real fucking name except for T Dog? It's just weird.
This is how to watch TV.
See you